Good morning, friends, and welcome to my today's lecture, that is the third part of the autobiographical note on Sylvia Plath of paper 9A. I had already spoken in my last two lectures about Sylvia Plath, her parents, her birth date, the works that she did, and many more things. In my remaining part, I'll be talking about what other works that she wrote and the kind of character she was. Sylvia Plath had a very close relationship with her mother, and these characteristics, they play a very important role in understanding Sylvia Plath. In her later age, she started fusing the characters together, the father and the grandfather, under the name of Daddy. Before her father died, he had an amputation performed in his leg. This incident becomes important because she sometimes presents the physical abilities and hurts in some of the poems. And these actual incidents become the source of a poem which provided an opportunity for her to write. Once she painted a picture and which was destroyed, and she expressed her feelings in a poem, taking it to be a destructive act. Her mother said that she shared Sylvia Plath's all emotions and feelings till her teens, but later she became reserved and did not tell anything to her mother. After her father's death, she came more close to her mother, had long talks, loved words, and considered words necessary for the expression and mutual understanding. She and her mother, they shared this view. Her mother used to tell the children a lot of things about their father, even after his death, because he died at a very early age. Sylvia Plath was a strong feminist, which she had inherited from her mother. Women have greater imagination and singleness of purpose. She also had this vision of future in which man and women were created to exist as he and she. They were purely human beings. She was extremely sensitive according to picture incident, and this sensitivity gave tragic dimensions to her life. Her teacher said about her that one so young could have appreciated something so devastating. She was in favor of giving more authority to the reader to interpret the poem in the way he or she liked. Her poetry is compulsive, that is a quality of all, which is a quality of all confessional poetries, and we all know that Sylvia Plath has been a confessional poet. The writer writes out of compulsion, or else he won't have a peaceful life. Self-expression becomes compulsory for confessional poets, and for the need to express themselves, they write the poems to silence that voice which comes from within. So he writes for that purpose. The tragic note is very prominently present in her poems. Her mother suggests a reason for it. When she wrote poetry and sent to various publishers, they were rejected. They got back with some rejection slips, some notes. And she discovered that her exuberant, joyous outbursts in poetry brought those rejection slips, while the story or the poem with pathetic twist was found more acceptable. This tragic note might be a conscious one. She might have deliberately given her poems a tragic tone, but she committed suicide thrice and was successful the third time. We know that she had a miserable life. She felt unhappiness miserably, found her grief to be unbearable. She died at the age of 31. She herself was more responsible for her misery and death. When she was grown up and had boyfriends, she discovered that boys were biased against the brainy girls like her. She gave an impression of being light-hearted and witty to show that she wasn't brainy. She discovered that a rare friend would feel happy in her success and happiness. That was a real friend. Now, most of her friends would be jealous of her whenever her poems were published. At the time when she reached young age as a lady, she enjoyed the every day of her life. She felt sad at the passing of time and considered this age to be a perfect time of her life at the age of 60. She always and wanted to be an observer and not a participant in life, but be an observant or to be affected so much in life as to be not to be able to say things clearly. She was afraid of getting older and married. She hated routine life. She loved freedom very deeply. All bondages were deadly for her. She hated all kinds of labels. She did not want to be classified in any case. She just wanted to be herself. She was also self-critical. She had a terrible ego, and she loved her face and flesh. That was all about Sylvia Plath's autobiographical note. In my next lecture, I'll be coming with a few poems of hers. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.